Hello and welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. With me today, I have a video of an incident that happened like 10 years ago. I know someone might be wondering why we should be talking about something that happened a long time ago. Well, it is because that story is just resurfacing following what has been happening between Israel and Hamas. This video is about Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, people are now beginning to question what type of a person he is. Apparently, Netanyahu's psychiatrist unalived himself after working with the prime minister. But before this happened, he left a letter sharing what it was like to work for the prime minister. Here's the video.
So this happened 10 years ago, but the story's just resurfacing now. So apparently, the Israeli Prime Minister, Netanyahu, his psychiatrist, Dr. Moshe Yatom, killed himself after working with the Prime Minister. Dr. Yatom left a letter saying that working with Netanyahu sucked the life right out of him, and that he just felt defeated by Netanyahu's waterfall of lies. I mean, listen to what he wrote about Netanyahu's psyche. Robbery is redemption. Apartheid is freedom. Peace activities are terrorists. Murder is self-defense. Piracy is legality. Palestinians are Jordanians. Annexation is liberation. There's no end to his contradictions. Oh, and I want to show you one more thing that Netanyahu did to his own psychiatrist. Listen to this. This is an entry by the psychiatrist into his diary. Bibi came by at 3 for his afternoon session. At 4, he refused to leave and claimed my house was actually his.
Now, what this psychiatrist wrote in his letter is what got people talking. Following how he has been handling the Israel-Palestine conflict, people really are asking what type of a person he is. For someone to even reach an extent of unaliving themselves, then there should be something not right. And I bet he just couldn't take it anymore. Now, this really makes one wonder the ideology Palestinians have to fight against. Let's check out these teachers and hear what others had to say. Then when I get back, we talk more about this issue.
I am not reporting this as real. I did 15 minutes of research after hearing it going around a lot and found multiple articles that all talked about this in the same way, not from credible news sites. No pictures of the doctor. I found one picture, but not multiple pictures. You would think a renowned doctor would have multiple pictures. I could not find the diary. I would love to read it if it's real. So I'm not saying... I don't know if it's true, but we have to be skeptical about the kind of information that we're consuming. Just like the 40 babies story, like, I'm not saying that this has that same type of implication or nefarious intent. I think it's satire. A lot of comments were saying that it's satire from 2010. That's fine. I post the Onion too, but we just have to be careful about the information we share because we don't want to delegitimize our efforts. Okay, thanks.
Okay, y'all. Ooh. So this actually happened in 2010. There is an article that said it happened 2 days ago, but this is the same person and it's before that. So this happened in 2010, and the man said in his journals that Netanyahu said that 9/11 was good and that he just couldn't take trying to make him see reality. Like, he just was detached from reality. We just gonna read this. So he was having trouble getting progress and getting the prime minister to acknowledge reality. He eventually suffered a series of strokes when attempting to grasp Netanyahu's thinking, which he characterized in one diary entry as a black hole of self-contradiction. The first of Yatom's strokes occurred when Netanyahu offered his opinion that the 9/11 attacks on Washington and New York were good. The second followed a session in which Netanyahu insisted that Iran and Nazi Germany were identical. The third occurred after the prime minister declared Iran's nuclear energy program as a flying gas chamber, and all the Jews everywhere lived permanently in Auschwitz. Yatom's efforts to calm Netanyahu's hysteria were extremely taxing emotionally and routinely ended in failure. The alibi is always the same with him, complained another diary entry. The Jews are on the verge of annihilation at the hands of the racist Goyim, and the only way to save the day is to carry out one final massacre. So he was working on a book. He named the book Psychotic on Steroids. And here's an excerpt from that book. Monday, March 8th, I'm going to assume 2010, because that's when the journal is from. Bibi came by at 3 for his afternoon session. At 4, he refused to leave and claimed my house was actually his. Then, he locked me in the basement overnight while he lavishly entertained his friends upstairs. While I tried to escape, he called me and put me in shackles. I begged for mercy, but he said he could hardly grant it to someone who didn't even exist. I want to point this out, though. There are a lot of sources that say that this just happened like this past week, and then when you go on the sources, they don't have dates, which drives me insane, because how can you say somebody died and not put in a date? I found a few sources though from way before now, 2014, 2010. It seems like 2010 is the year. Y'all do your own research. As always, I'm not the news.
Netanyahu's psychiatrist committed suicide. Found a letter that holds Netanyahu responsible. First of all, I'm surprised that he has a psychiatrist to begin with. You'd think it would be another Zionist, but he had a conscience. I wonder what did it. Was it the little Palestinian kids who came together for a little press conference? Begging people to protect them and care. Is it because his own Zionists don't like the way he's Zioning? These people do not care about Palestine, by the way. They just want him to Zionize a little differently. That's all. Is it because they actually stopped the boat? Is it because speaking up is actually changing minds?
The protest walked off of the ship, refusing to load it, quoting, "Keep going, you're touching more hearts than you think."
He probably doesn't have TikTok. Not everybody has TikTok. Not everyone knows that they're being lied to. He must have saw it himself. Is bro trying to riz us into letting him do it? He's like a kid on Halloween who really feels like Spider-Man. Hope you've already done this, but it's in my bio. Check out this app. It does almost all the work for you, so that you can call your representatives. It also helps you find which representatives to call. It literally automates almost everything. All you have to do is speak. Filter and the watching the videos for 5 to 10 seconds is a great idea, but please also call your representatives, please. From someone who's been in TikTok funds, they don't let you get the money out until over a month later. Let's make sure that Gaza's still there to receive it. Filter's not enough.
Although the story first broke in 2010, this week the S-side of Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's therapist has gone viral on social media, raising major questions because he purportedly left and not condemning the Israeli leader of sucking life of him. Now, given the current context of what's happening in Gaza, some people disagree and regard the news as accurate, despite the arguments of many that it had been taken from an outdated satirical blog. The psychiatrist Moshe Yotam is very well regarded and respected Israeli medical professional known for helping several mentally ill patients over the years. However, as suggested by several media reports, after being Netanyahu's doctor for 10 years, he committed S-side and left a note saying, "I can't take it anymore. Robbery is redemption. Side is freedom. Peace activists are terror. Unaliving is self-defense. Piracy is legality. Palestinians are Jordanians. Annexation is liberation. And there's no end to these contradictions." Freud promised rationality would reign in the instinctual passions, but he never met Bibi Netanyahu. This guy would say Gandhi invented brass knuckles. Now, the story is now gaining attention in light of the Israeli invasion of Gaza and the unalivings of innocent civilians as a form of self-defense. A man called Michael Smith first broke the news, and his initial piece is now being used by several media outlets as it had several alleged quotes from Yotam's diaries in which he speaks of Netanyahu and how he led him to commit S-side. In a harrowing series of encounters, Dr. Moshe Yatom, a distinguished psychiatrist, grappled with the daunting challenge of treating Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Yatom's diary reveals a chilling narrative of psychiatrist despair as he attempted to treat a patient who seemed impervious to reality. The diary entries capture the disturbing sessions with Netanyahu and the toll they took on Yatom's mental and physical health. Let's now take a look at what people had to say in the comments. America has no shame. Absolutely none. How can one align with this kind of evil? The sound cuts off because of one reason only. They want to silence him. Keep sharing. It's okay if you share the same video again. Free Palestine. I pity the Jews for having him as their PM. Shame on Israel and the USA. Shame on anyone else that supports the seaside. If this was in 2010, how was he allowed to have so much power? What version of distorted reality are we in? This one says this is propaganda. No credible source or all the stories sound exactly the same. No pic of the renowned doctor. Then this person replied to this comment and said, once again, there's several sources, including recently confirming it since everyone's bringing it up. Pics are not needed. All right, guys, there were so many comments on this video, and I would like to hear what your thoughts are on this video. Kindly share your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you for always watching my videos, and see you in my next video.